Hello and welcome everybody. This is Miranda's Crafter, and I'm glad you joined me today for part 2 of the series How to Play Ark. Just a quick little reminder, what we're doing here is we're learning how to play Ark Ascended by using Ark Survival Evolved. Ark Survival Ascended, or ASA, will be released at the end of October is what we're being told, so I thought now would be a good time to get ready for that and start learning how to play the game and helping others learn how to play the game for hopefully the influx of players that will be coming into the Ark world from the new release. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start focusing on trying to build a small little base, somewhere we can put down a bed, somewhere we can have some shelter, somewhere we can store some stuff and begin to craft some things. We need those kinds of abilities so that we can start to tame, start to get serious about playing the game and surviving. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, like I was talking about last episode, we're going to take this survivor node over here and we're going to get that, and then we're going to start working on trying to get some experience. We got lots of little buddies here with us today. Mr. Pterodon, some dodo friends. This is a pretty good area to put a starter base in, and the reason why I say that is because you see all these little dodos running around and pterodons and stuff like that. And then of course, oh, that's a dillo. I was fixing to say there goes a raptor. But this is a good area because these are easy to kill and they're good to harvest hide off of for new explorers. So that's what we're going to do. We need to get this dillo out of here though. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to aggro it, and then I'm going to let it chase me and drag it out of the area real quick. Well, I tried to aggro it, and it just didn't want no part of me. What is this thing doing? Normally it's hostile to survivors. Okay, so let me try to hit it and see what it does. Wow. Okay, it's not wanting any part of me. I guess it knows how awesome I am. So this is a survivor drop, and it's a blue one, and as you can see it's level 25 or higher to open, so I can't even open this thing. But if I could, it would have some good stuff in it, probably resources, building materials, possibly a blueprint or some armor, weapon. It's to your benefit to try to open as many of those as you can whenever you can. I guess being this dillo doesn't want to play around, I'm going to just go ahead and get me some starter tools made up real quick. He's obviously not going to be a threat if he's not going to attack me. Okay, now he's looking like he's in his normal wandering pattern. So I bet he's going to aggro me here in just a second. There he goes. And he took off running. So this one's bugged. I don't really know what's going on with him. But okay, we'll just kind of ignore him. And if he ever attacks us, then we'll deal with him. I wanted to try to drag him off because I was afraid he was going to kill all my dodos that I want to kill and kill me. And I don't have a bed yet, so I don't really want to die right now. Because if I do, I'll have to respawn. And I'm not really ready for that. Let me make some more tools again and some starter gear. Okay. I'm crafting. So whenever you craft, you move slow. You can't sprint or jump whenever you're crafting. So just keep that in mind before you start a craft. Make sure you're safe. Okay, let's put on our gear. Okay, because I already had a pick in my hotbar before, you can see down here that when I crafted it, it immediately went to my hotbar. When I craft another hatchet, it'll immediately go here, type of thing. Let's see what's going on. Oh, he's trying to fight the dodo. Boom! Okay, now he's interested in me. So let's drag him off now that he's actually aggroed to us. Because we want him away from us. And he's actually slow enough to where we can kind of outrun him. Then when we get him far enough away, we'll go around a rock or a tree or something and get him hung on it and drag him off of us. What one of the things that they've said they were going to fix, though, is the creature AI pathing. So this kind of antics probably won't be so easy to do in the game once it gets released, the Ascended version. Let's try to get around him without him aggroing us again. Turn the gamma down to where we can see the colors a little bit more richly. Okay, so here we go with a dead dodo. So what let's do is let's make a hatchet real fast to harvest this thing with, because we need hide. And if we harvest that dodo with a hatchet, we will get the most hide that we can get from it. Let's get a hatchet crafted. Okay, we got a hatchet crafting. Okay, it went down in my hotbar. Now I'm going to switch to the hatchet, and now I'm going to harvest this dead dodo that the Dillo killed for me. Okay, we got 10 raw meat and 10 hide. That's good. That'll help us get to the point that we can make a bed. So another thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make some spears, because I need some weapons to be able to kill some stuff. These require fiber, flint, and wood. So I need to gather just a little bit more wood to be able to make some more, because in your inventory the normal spears can stack as a stack of 10. When one breaks, it'll automatically replace itself with one in the stack. So it's a good idea to start to go ahead and make a few and get them in a stack for yourself. Okay, so let's craft some more. Craft 3 more. We're going to go ahead and apply our level we have waiting. Right now it's either going to be weight, stamina, or health. And I think I'll go ahead and give myself one shot of health there. Kind of get started progressing, being a little stronger. I'm going to put my spears in my hotbar. And I'm going to take out this dodo. Boom. Boom. I've killed it, but I don't want to keep hitting it with the spear, because if I hit it after it's killed, I will start to harvest it, but the spear will not harvest as good as the hatchet will. And oh, that was a party dodo. It had a little party hat on, you might have saw. So it's not going to give the normal meat and hide. It gives what's called cake slices. Don't remember what that's for. It's some kind of event that's going on right now on my private server. So it's probably some kind of buff that it provides. Let's just eat it and see what it does, just for kicks. A delicious piece of birthday cake recovered from a thieving dodo. Sweet revenge. Okay, it won't let me eat it. So, yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do with it. I don't remember. I would have to look it up to see, because it's only a one-time during an event item, so it's not something we mess with every day. Get rid of this tree because it's right in the way where I want to build. Okay, so I've got so much weight on me that now I can't move. So I'm going to eat all my berries, and that will free up some weight because I'm starving anyway. Okay, that wasn't enough. So now we're going to have to look at what can I drop. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this wood. I wouldn't dare drop my hide at this point because hide is too precious. I need some more flint so that I can make a few more spears. We'll do that right now. At this stage of the game, you never want to drop your hide. You want every piece of that you can get. Wood, thatch, stone, and flint is just, you know, whatever, because you can get that all day long. But hide is a little bit more difficult, so make sure that you hang on to that hide. Craft these spears up. Ah, and it's starting to rain. Cool thing about the rain is whenever it rains and you're out in the open like this, it automatically fills your water meter. So while it's raining, you don't have to worry about that, about dying of thirst. Okay, let's kill another dodo if there's one in this area. There's one. Get us a little more hide. What we need to do right off the bat is once we get some more hide, we need to gather the materials to build a thatch foundation, and then we need to make a bed. That way, in case we get arked and we die, we can respawn at our bed, and we don't have to go through the whole random thing. Okay, that's a party dodo, so that's honestly not going to give me what I need, but I'm going to go ahead and kill it. That way it will get out of here and a normal dodo can spawn in its place. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, it's an oviraptor. Oh, the ground was shaking because there's a triceratops there. I was like, why is the ground shaking? Okay. Alright, so we're about ready to go ahead and take this survivor note. Let's kill this dodo real quick. Now when we kill these dodos, something will respawn in its place. It could be more dodos, which would be optimal. Or it could be a raptor or a troodon we've seen in this area. So yeah, we could be regretting this, but we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to go. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this survivor note. And you'll see the experience buff that will pop up on the lower right hand corner of the screen. Right now you see my buff showing that I'm eating and my buff showing that I'm a little on the cold side. So let's go ahead and get this. All you got to do is get close to it and it will open up. And I've already seen the Stegosaurus dossier before on this account. So it didn't play the graphic that it normally would, showing you about the Stegosaurus and all that. But you can see the little 584 in the corner over there. What that is Special Explorer Note found quadruple XP. So I'm getting times 4 XP right now. So it benefits me to do some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and you can see I've already got 4 levels now waiting. So you can see how important this is to get these at the start if you're trying to level up, because now I went from 7 to 11 just like that. Boom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a thatch foundation, and I just noticed that one of the bane of my existence just spawned in right here in the spot where we killed that dodo. I'll show it to you here in a minute, and then you'll learn to hate these things. Okay, so we crafted the foundation, and that gave us enough experience to actually level again. So we're going to put that in STAM. That thing right there, it's called the Ichthyornis. It's a bird that when it aggroes you, it will fly around and it will take stuff from your inventory when it hits you. It is so annoying, because they're kind of hard to kill, and they are just a very, very annoying Ark creature. Okay, so I crafted a foundation, and then I clicked on my right trigger button to put it out there to be placed, and then I finalized the placement with one of the other buttons. So you can see right here that this is the tribe of human. That's me. I don't have a tribe made. I probably ought to do that real quick. So let's go into the tribe menu, because this is where having a tribe starts to matter whenever you start to build things and to get dinos and all that kind of stuff, because they belong to the tribe. So right here you can see it shows a tribe log. It shows where I was killed, that I was added to the tribe on day 1. Level 1 was killed by a Sarco. That was a long time ago. Yeah. That was when I was playing before I started this video series. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the command to rename the tribe. And I'm going to call it Miranda's Crafter, because that is my YouTube name. And it's my thing. So now we're a tribe of Miranda's Crafter. It shows that the tribe owns it and the personal owner is me. And if I had my name set to something more realistic, it would say that on there. So now what we need to do is we want to build a bed. That needs to be one of our first priorities. You can, for a cheaper amount of resources, build a sleeping bag. But the only thing about the sleeping bag is it's a one-time use only. So when you use it to respawn back on the map, it disappears. So the best thing to do is to get a bed. So it shows in red that I'm short some fiber and I'm short some thatch. But I do have enough hide. And that's the biggest hurdle right off the bat to get a bed, is you need 40 hide and I have 57. So now let's gather some fiber and thatch and we'll be able to make our bed. Now remember, the pick gets the most thatch. Okay, so that should be enough thatch. And we're going to gather fiber, so we need to have our hands free so that we can gather fiber from the bush. And everything we're doing right now, we're getting quadruple XP for. So just the act of harvesting, of killing stuff, building things, that's going to help us get a lot more levels. So I should have enough resources to craft a bed now. Okay, you see the bed is lit up because I have the resources and are available to craft, and I own the Ingram. So now I'm going to make one, and then I'm going to go back to my foundation and place it. Because just having the bed in my inventory doesn't do me any good. I actually need to have it down on the ground, or down on a foundation. Okay, so you can see that I've got the placement graphic down, and then I'm going to finalize it. Can't place, it's obstructed. There we go. I think it's because I was standing there. Trilobites are really good to kill. They have a lot of good resources on them. I'm not going to mess with it right now though, because it's kind of a pain to kill. It takes quite a few shots. They got some armor on. Actually, I probably should, because I've got the experience buff on right now, so what better time than to get some experience than now. Okay, so we're going to hit it a bunch of times. It'll probably cost me a spear or two. They don't fight back, so it's not, you know. Okay, there we go. I killed it. If I remember correctly, you harvest these with picks to get the most you can out of them. And I'm getting silica pearls, I'm getting oil, I'm getting chitin. So these are new things that we haven't seen yet before, new resources. We got chitin, makes, you know, armor and things like that. It's really handy. Oil makes a lot of good stuff like fuel and prime meat jerky. Silica pearls goes into your electronic type things. So those are good to have, and that's pretty much all we got off of that was new. Okay, so we still got that buff going on. So we're going to harvest some more goodies. We're going to craft the rest of our armor that we were needing to craft. We need feet and hands. And we're also going to make us a storage box, because that's going to help us be able to store our items and not have to carry so much of this around with us. We're going to get a level from all this crafting probably. So I'll put one into health and another one into weight. Okay, now I'm level 15, so you can see it's really starting to ramp up. We're starting to go, we're starting to get somewhere. But the problem with that is that once we get higher in levels, the leveling process will slow down because it takes an immense amount of XP at the higher levels in the 90s to be able to actually get a level. So yeah, that's a thing that will happen soon. Okay, so I looked at my building materials and I saw that I need more thatch to be able to build some more foundations, because I want to build foundations, walls, ceilings. I want to go ahead and get this house form to shape here and have it be actually providing us some benefit. You know, it provides us the bonus of a safe space. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get a drink real fast. So, it's going to provide us, the shelter is going to provide us the benefit of a safe space. It's going to provide us the benefit of what's called the shelter buff, which will cause us to not be hot, not be cold, be able to regenerate, and be, you know, more, not, our food and water won't drain as fast because we will be in a shelter. So yeah, having a good place to go, a safe place to go, is essential to surviving the Ark right off the bat. Let's make some more stuff while we still have this bonus. Let's make some more foundations. Got a bonus, or got a level, I mean. Right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get some more fiber and some more wood and thatch, because those are the ingredients that the thatch foundations need. Now to get some thatch. And I saw a dodo right over here, so I'm going to put a point into wait. And I'm going to go kill it so that I can get that sweet, sweet XP before my buff runs out in 20 seconds. Will he do it? Oh, I got it. And I'm going to harvest it because that gives XP too. Okay, so our Explorer Note buff is about to run out. But you can see how much that helped us while we had it. We now have 16 levels. And, you know, we have a lot more unlocked engrams. We have the ability to craft some better stuff. Let's equip our armor. And yeah, we're doing good. Right now I have my foundation placement guide out because I'm going to snap it right next to this one. Cool thing about Ark's building process is that you can snap like items together like this. Put one there. And now I've expanded my footprint of my structure. I'm going to make this about a 3x4 or so. And then I'm going to throw up some walls and some ceilings. So I'm going to harvest some more goodies. Ooh, and there's another trilobite. Let's get that dude. Okay, we got him. Get some good resources off of him. Oh, and we get some black pearls from trilobites too. That's one of the things that they're so awesome for us to get black pearls, because black pearls is one of the rarest resources in the game. And there's only a few places you can get those, from trilobites, Tusoteuthus, which is a squid. What's the little scorpion looking thing under the water? There's a little thing under the water that looks like a crustacean thing, but it has a scorpion's tail and it stings you and it knocks you out. Euryptid. Those are one of the other things that you can get black pearl from, a rare resource from the bottom of the sea. So basically it's telling you, you know, sea creatures are where you're going to go to get this item. But there's only just a few. And those are used in your high-end tech items to make, you know, the high-end tech structures, the high-end tech crafting equipment, things like that. You'll need black pearls to be able to do that, like replicators and stuff like that. So these resources that I'm not going to really need right now, that I'm hanging on to, I'm going to go ahead and dump in the box. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and dump a lot of this stuff in the box because that will free me up to go fill up my inventory again. Okay, one thing I am going to do though is I'm going to get some of these items back out because I'm going to go ahead and craft a campfire. Because I have a lot of meat just sitting around and I need to actually get it into my body. So let's go over here and we'll use our hatchet to harvest some stone and a little bit more flint, and we can make us a campfire. Now I don't have to get a bunch of stone whenever I need stone, because stone is so easy to get that it just doesn't behoove you to keep a lot of it around right now at this stage, because you can get stone and wood and thatch anytime. So don't worry about stockpiling 10,000 stacks of that at this moment. Just play the game and harvest what you need right away, and don't worry about, you know, really stockpiling things at this point. Now, some things that you will want to stockpile will be metal, oil, silk pearls, things like that that you get that you don't normally get. You'll want to hang on to those for later. Let me eat my berries real quick and give myself a little boost of food. Okay, so let's look in here and let's take our campfire. And you can put a campfire down on the ground, you can put it in your house, you can do whatever. I like to put mine in my house because when I put up the walls, I'm going to want to keep it safe. There are dinos that will actually attack your items and kill them. So like if there was a Rex that ran by here right now, he would destroy this base. He just would be like, no, you're not going to build here. I'm going to smack you down. And he would destroy everything we had. But luckily we're in a region where there's not one. Now there comes a point where dinos can't hurt your structures, and those are the more advanced type structures. Like right now, most everything that's aggressive can harm my thatch. But as I start to go up the building tiers, like wood, stone, metal, when it gets higher to the higher tiers, a lot of the dinos can't attack those items. So metal, if I had a metal foundation right here, nothing would be able to do damage to it. There's only a few creatures in the game that can actually harm metal. So you could build a base out of that and not really have to worry about stuff as much anymore. So right now you can see in my campfire, my raw meat is being turned into cooked meat, and that's good. That's what I want because I can eat that and it'll give me a lot of my health back. It also produces a byproduct called charcoal from burning the wood, which, you know, makes sense. It's like real life. But the charcoal is useful because later on it's used to make gunpowder and things like that. Now also, as meat spoils, you can see on the gump for the meat, it shows a spoil timer and it's counting down. When meat spoils, it turns into this green looking putrid bleh, spoiled meat. You think, oh, that's gross. What do we need that for? Spoiled meat is very important because it's one of the main components that go into making narcotics, which is what you use to knock out dinos to tame them with. So the narco berries, the black berries, and the spoiled meat, you want to definitely hang on to all of those. Now, the spoiled meat will spoil and the berries will spoil. So, you know, you kind of fighting a losing battle as far as trying to hang on to it at the early game, because right now you can see one of my spoiled meat will spoil in 2.5 minutes. But as you get higher in levels and you start to collect these things more frequently, you won't have these kind of problems as far as trying to hang on to stuff. You'll be able to create some preserving bins and some fridges and put them in there, and they'll last a lot longer. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and let me see where my food bar is at. It shows that my food stat is pretty full. Right now I'm 99 out of 100, so it would be a waste for me to eat this meat right now. But I'm going to go ahead and put this meat on my hot bar. Because it's one of the things that I want to be able to have available for when my health gets low. I can eat a piece of meat and that'll help me regenerate health when my hit points get low, you know. And so having cooked meat on hand at the start is very good, very helpful. Okay, I'm gathering up some thatch. Thatch foundations require a bunch of thatch. Okay, so right now you see that my pick broke. You saw that little notification. Your tools and weapons and gear all wear out. They have a durability stat on them. So right now I can repair this item by having some stone, thatch, and wood in my inventory. Luckily I do, so I can just hover over the item and push Y on the controller, and that will consume some resources and that will repair it. You can see now it's back to full strength. So now I'm gonna get me some wood. Gonna get me some fiber. Oh, there's a tech parasaur. That dinosaur over there is called a parasaur. They're very useful. They help you do a lot of things. They can help you gather berries and stuff. And they're rideable, so you can use them as a mount. And they also have a special ability that they do a scream, and they can cause little dinos that are going to attack you to flee in terror. So let's see what level this thing is. It is a level 7, and it's a tech version, which came out later in the game. Some of the dinos were tech instead of just normal biological creatures. This is a level 1 pterodon. That will be so easy to tame. And you know what? We need to just go ahead and get that because we need a flyer really bad. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of get sidetracked here. I'm going to put up my resources that I don't need at the moment. And the parasaur wants to come join the party. Thanks, Mr. Parasaur, for knocking me off my foundation. And I just wanted to kind of put them in my box so that I could combine them a little bit for a second so I can see what I got here. I want to make a couple things. To be able to tame something, most of the time you're going to need something to knock it out with that does torpor damage. So I don't see my Ingram for a club. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the list and I'm going to look and see if I can actually make a club yet. There it is, wood club. I'm going to buy this item because I'm going to need this to knock stuff out. It's easily made melee weapon that is excellent for knocking out targets, only effective at short range. So I'm going to buy that. And now I can craft it. Okay, now it'll be in my crafting inventory. I'm going to make 2 of these because they break very easily. And then I'm going to go knock out that pterodon. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to see if I can make bolas yet, because those are very effective to help you capture things and knock them out. And yes, I can. So I'm going to get that one too. Okay, so now I want to make a bola. I'm going to need some hide for that because I know that that's one of its components that it takes is hide. I just want to make like 1 or 2 of those, just enough to grab that pterodon and hold it still while I knock it out. Okay, got 2 of those made, so I'm good. I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff in my inventory. And I am going to take my narco berries with me because I might need them for taming. And I'm going to put some, put some of this stuff up in my hotbar to where I'm ready to use it. So I have a club and I have some bolas. And I'm ready to go now. So hopefully that pterodon did not fly away. It looks like he might have. Dang. I should have kept an eye on him. Oh, there he is. I bet that's him right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my bola in my hand. I'm going to get it ready. And I'm going to throw it at him. Now I've got him bola'd. So now I need to equip my club and try to knock him out. If I can get him knocked out before he gets free from the bola, there, I've knocked him out. So now he's unconscious. Now, that went easy because this, as you can see, was a level 1 creature. So it didn't take much to knock him out. The higher the level to creature, the harder they are to knock out. And then you need to investigate other options like possibly tranquilizing darts from a gun and stuff like that. The pterodon needs meat to be able to tame. It likes, at this stage, raw meat is just fine. So I'm going to go back to my fire. And I'm going to get me a few pieces of raw meat. And I'm going to put it in his inventory. Now, whenever his food stat goes down far enough to where it prompts him to eat, he will eat a piece of my meat. And he will then get some taming progress on that taming bar that you're seeing down there. Now the purple unconscious meter has to stay with some, it has to have some purple in the bar is what I'm trying to say. If it runs out, then the creature wakes up and your taming is spoiled. You have to start all over again. You'll have to knock it out again and all that kind of stuff. So that's why you want to make narcotic with spoiled meat and these narco berries right here. I don't have the ability to make narcotic right now, but a narco berry still has a tranquilizing effect. So if I make him eat a few, I can hit my right trigger and actually force feed the dino and make him eat a few. Now you'll see my torpor bar is going back up, because I've tranquilized him basically by using those berries. This is just a level 1 pterodon, so I'm not really sure how long it's going to take to tame. I am on some lower settings, so this could possibly take an hour or so on these settings. I'm not sure. On private servers that you play on, a lot of times people will turn up the taming speed so that it doesn't take very long to tame stuff. This one could take a while, so because this is on more like official type server settings. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take for it to get its first feeding. Once it does get a feeding, we'll see. Oh, there it goes. It took its first feeding. So that was about 4 or 5 minutes it took for it to get its first feeding, and it got to 39%. We're going to go ahead and let this thing sit here and tame out while we do other stuff because it's relatively safe. It has enough meat in its inventory to cause it to fully tame because one feeding took it to 39%, so we actually only need 3 pieces of meat, probably 4 at the most. So we'll go ahead and leave that in there, and then we'll check on it in a little bit and make sure that its torpor doesn't drain out on us. So we'll go ahead and fill it up before we take off and go goof around. And we'll let that thing sit there while we do other stuff. Now, this is famous last words right here. I'm just going to do this other thing real quick while my dino tames up. if this was a dino that was really high level and it was hard to tame and it took me some effort to get it knocked out, I would never leave it. I would stay right here by its side the whole time it was taming, because if any aggressive dino wanders by, it will attack your dino that you have knocked out, and it will cause it to die, and it will cause it to ruin your tame, and you'll have to start all over if the dino doesn't just flat out kill it. So you have to be really careful about that. This was just an opportunity tame right here. It was here, and I'm like, wow, we got to take this, because we're going to need a flyer to really get going. In Ark, flyers are where the game really opens up for you. Some people don't like that because they like the game to be hard. So they purposefully limit their flyer usage so that, you know, they can experience the game, the struggle of the game, without having to, you know, make everything a lot easier. But I personally, I have to have a flyer. That's just all there is to it. And most players will definitely always want to have a flyer because it just makes things so nice. You can get up on mountains where you couldn't normally reach before. You can fly a lot across the map a lot easier, make it here and there from resource points back and back and all kinds of stuff. He just ate again. I saw his head move. Now you can see he's almost done. He just needs like one more feeding and he'll be good. I think his torpor bar will be fine. I don't think it'll run out again before he needs to eat again. So we'll go ahead and we'll just leave him doing his thing. Let's try to make some more foundations while we're at it. We need thatch at this stage, and a lot of it. You'll notice as you're crafting things that some items require a lot more of one thing than they do the other. Usually thatch foundations, obviously, as the name implies, are going to need a lot more thatch than the other requirements. Wood foundation would require more wood than it would thatch or fiber type of thing. Okay, so now I'm going to craft some more foundations. Now whenever this dino gets done taming, it should have a notice come across our screen that says you have tamed a dino. Now we want you to name it type of thing. That'll happen and that'll let us know what's going on. There's also a dino tracker that you can use on your item menu. I think it's this right here, taming list. You can see, the Pegomastax that I tried to tame are still on there. But the Wild Marrow Pterodon is on there. Whenever this gets done, I'm going to go ahead and untrack all so I can get rid of those. Well, I guess you can't. Okay, but anyway, it shows you where you're taming and it shows you where it is. So like right now, if I got lost and I was like, oh crap, where was that pterodon at? This little indicator would help me get back to it so that I don't lose it. That's a really nice quality of life thing that they put into the game. I'm going to go ahead and turn the tracking off though, because I don't want to have to see the notification of those pegos that hit me for a berry. Excuse me, hit me for a berry and then ran. Okay, there we go. So normally this is not going to be this easy because we tamed a level 1 dino. I'm going to name this Harvey. He's going to be our first tame. Let's make sure it is a boy. Yeah, it's a boy. So right now, when a dino is tamed, he's now yours. You own him. He's your partner. Part of your tribe. You name him, and then now you have control of this dino. So one of the things you want to do first is he's a level 1, so I really don't want him fighting stuff. Automatically when something is tamed, it goes into attacking target mode, and that means that if I was to attack something, my dino would be right there by my side backing me up and fighting too. That's normally a good thing when you're needing help to survive, but in this situation we really don't want that because a level 1 pterodon will get wrecked and we don't want it fighting. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold down on the B button and we're going to go into our whistle mode and we're going to change its stance. We're going to make it be passive. That way it won't fight stuff, and you can see now the aggression level is passive. You can also see that it's following me, following human level 17. So if I walk over here, you'll hear it take off and start flying. It's following me. So what I want it to do is I want it to land right in here somewhere. So I'm going to whistle it to stop, and then it will land, and then it can just stay there. I don't have the ability to put a saddle on it yet because that's like level 40 something that you get that ability to build a pterodon saddle. But at least I have him now. And he is going to just sit here and level up this whole time while we do our thing and explore. See if I can get him closer to base. There we go. Alright, so now that he's stopped, we'll make sure he's stopped and we'll make sure he's in passive. Now he should be okay. Now we need to keep a sort of an eye on him though, because if something comes up here and attacks my base, it will attack him too. So he in passive mode, he won't fight back. So he'll basically just die. So we need to make sure we keep an eye on that. So now I'm going to expand my base a little bit. I said I wanted to make it a 3x6, but I can't place the structure there because it's too close to clipping in the ground. So I'll have to change my mind a little bit and make it a 2x3. I wonder if I can build on the front side. Whenever you get outside of the foundation's height range, it won't let you build anymore. So like trying to put one on the front side won't happen. I should be able to build on this side though. So now we'll make one more foundation and we'll put it right there. And we'll have a decent sized little building here. And then we'll see if we can get the pterodon to land in the building. And then we'll put some walls up around it. We'll keep it safe. That's one way we can keep it safe from predators, is to box it in on our house. If it had a saddle, I could get on it and mount it and walk it into the building. But because it doesn't have a saddle on it, I'm just going to have to make it follow me. And flying creatures are a little difficult because when they follow you, they just kind of land wherever they will. If you have a land creature, you can make it follow you and you can kind of put it right, have it stop right where you want type of thing. So we'll get into the mechanics of handling dinos a little bit later. Right now we're just going to get some more resources and build the rest of our structure out. So when you're harvesting resources, you want to be mindful of how close to your base they are. And the reason why I say that is because later on, when you get to the point that you're starting to build a base and you want it to be pretty and aesthetically pleasing and all that, you may want some of your trees to stick around your base, or some of your bushes, or some of your rocks. You may be building around a certain rock feature and all that stuff, and you want it to stay there. Let's say this tree right here, I wanted this tree to always be here because I like the way it looks next to my base and stuff. If I harvest it, it has a range that it will tell resources not to spawn around your buildings. So let's say the range of an item cannot, a resource item cannot spawn by a foundation was this far away in a circle pretty much all the way around it, then that would mean that that tree that I cut down that was here will now no longer respawn. So once it's gone forever. So think about that when you're building your bases, because you may want to keep a lot of your trees and stuff nearby so that it looks cool. That can kind of be detrimental too, because people can come along and harvest your trees and destroy your ambiance. But hey, I mean, that's just part of playing Ark and being a jerk. You know, you can be nice to each other or you can be a jerk, and people will do that sort of thing. So, you know, just keep in mind that it will happen. So got another level, and I put it into weight because, as you can see, I am overweight. I have a lot of stuff in my inventory, and it's starting to weigh me down, and that's why weight is so important at the early stages of the game, because at the early stages of the game, you're trying to get yourself situated, and you need resources to be able to do that, and if you can't carry them, then it's of no use to you. So weight's very important, especially when you're building up. Later on, whenever you get to the point that you've built your base and you're comfortable with your surroundings that you've made and all that stuff, you can make what's called a mind wipe potion, and you can basically reset your stats so that you can put things into other categories that you didn't have before, which is really useful. So basically what I'm trying to do is get rid of as many resources as I can into my box. It will, if it has a piece of wood in its inventory, it only can hold so many items, and the small storage box only holds this many. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stacks of items. Some items will stack up to a certain amount, like wood stacks up to 100 pieces of wood, 200 pieces of thatch, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what's going on with that while I'm trying to put this stuff in my inventory. Okay, so I have the items to create some more thatch. So let's build another thatch foundation, and then we can start to make some walls. I'm going to need a doorway, and I'm going to need a thatch door, and I'm going to need some walls. So I don't really know how many walls I'm going to need right now, but I'll make about 7. And now it's starting to come together. I have a doorway. I'm going to put it right there. I have a door. Can't place it yet because I got to get closer, but I can't move because I'm overweight. So I'll go ahead and put down some of these walls to get rid of some of the weight in my inventory. I want to put a foundation right there, so I will put it down. Okay. Then I'm going to put the door down now because I think I can. Oh no, I can't move yet. So we're going to put some more walls down. Boom, boom, boom. And you have to be careful where you place items on your foundations, because if I had this crate right here sticking over this way too much, I wouldn't be able to place the wall. But I knew that when I put it down, so I kept it kind of centralized on this foundation structure rather than hanging over. So now I'm going to place my door. And I think I'm out of walls. Let's build some more walls. I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4 more walls to finish this structure off. Well, what I'm going to try to do first, let's use our door and see how it works. Ta-da! Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to see if I can get this pterodon in here before I wall off. So follow 1. Before I wall off this building. So let's get him to follow me. And because I'm slow right now, he's having no problems keeping up with me. Now let's get in the building. Let's see if we can get him to get in here with us. Okay, I told him to stop and he flew away to land. Oh, this is going to be more difficult than I thought. Okay, let's follow me again. Let's get in the house. And it's just kind of luck right now as far as whether you can get him to actually land in the building or not. So yeah, I don't want to sit here and bore you to death trying to do this all day, so I'm just going to go ahead and make some walls and finish this off, and we'll deal with getting him in here later. Like I said, I needed 5 walls. See if he's following me still. No. I gotta try one more time. Crafting, so I'm slowed down. Land, 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 right there. Oh. Okay, he went way far away. So whatever, it is what it is. If he had a saddle, I could walk him in here or have him follow me. Okay, so I've got the walls up, so now we have some protection. Now we can actually have a space that we can get in and hopefully flee from bad things that are trying to kill us. I made one too many walls, so no big deal. But I don't want to carry it around, so I'm going to go ahead and place it, and then I'm going to destroy it because I'll get some of the resources back that way when you do that. You see I got some of the thatch wood and fiber back. So now what I'm going to do, oh, I shouldn't have done that, because actually what I need to do now is I want to make some more walls, because I like for my structures to be 2 walls high, because you can see right now that my head is almost level with the top of the wall because I made my character tall. If I put the ceilings on this building structure right here, it's constantly going to be clipping into my head, and my head's going to be looking through the roof, and it's just weird. So I always like to make mine 2 walls high so that my ceilings will be up higher than me, and it really feels way more roomy. You would be surprised how much more roomy this little simple structure feels with a second level put on top of it. So okay, so that's good. I've got that. I am thirsty, so I need to go out my door and get a drink. Luckily I was smart enough to park right next to the water, so that's not an issue. Harvey is way over here. Come over here. Now, get in here with me. Alright, I'm going to name, there's lots of little things you can do with items, like this bed. I can name it so that when it shows up on the map, it'll actually be something I can recognize. So I'm going to call it Beach Base. And now my bed is called Beach Base. So if I look at the map and I have multiple beds all over the Ark, that one will be the one that I can find real easily because it's the one I want. Now here's a tip from an experienced Ark player. If you're playing PvE, it's not so much of an issue, but if you're going to be playing on a PvP server, then you need to get yourself in the habit of closing your door. So whenever you run out of your base and you're like, I'm going to go adventure, and you take off running, if you leave your door open, anybody can come in your base, and they can kill your dinos, and they can steal your stuff, and they can break your items and do all kinds of havoc to you. Not so much on a PvE server, player versus environment, but on a player versus player server, that can be a big deal. So always get yourself trained to remember to close your door. You will get so much grief from your tribe members if you're the guy that always runs off and leaves the door open, because you'll cause your tribe all kinds of issues that way. I need a little bit of fiber so that I can repair my pick, I think. What do I need? Oh, 1 piece of stone. Surely there's a piece of stone on the ground somewhere. There's one. Oh, it didn't give it to me. Okay, well, I'm going to go in my base and get a piece of stone then. The game don't want to play nice. So, about your dino management, don't forget that your dinos get levels too. So when you are just, out and about, check your dinos once in a while to see what levels they need to apply. And I think, honestly, I'm going to save this discussion for the next video about what's important to level on dinos and why. Because we're at our hour mark. It's funny how fast the time flies when you're doing this, because even the process of making these videos, the time just flies by so fast. It's crazy. So today we've built ourselves a structure. We've tamed a dino. We got Harvey over there. And we've, started to make a place for ourselves in the world. So today I hope you enjoyed this adventure, and I just want you to know that I appreciate your time. If this content has helped you, by all means, please like and subscribe and share it around to your friends, because we want to make sure that we help everybody that wants to learn how to play Ark, and I think this will go a long way to hopefully helping do that. So thank you very much for being here with me today. I will talk to you later in episode number 3.